Hello, and welcome to the Pickup WNBA podcast. I'm your host, Cathryn Niker.
And I'm your other host, Freddie Rivas. What's up? What's good? Holy guacamole. Let's get going for the second half of the season. But stop right there and pop into our socials at the Pickup WNBA podcast, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And, there's other ways to be nice to us. Like you could tell people about us, or a lot of people are messaging us in our DMs. Like, just getting into the mix. So thank you very much for that. But, all the algorithm stuff matters. That's why podcast people say it all the time. Like, the good reviews we have on whatever platform you feel like you want to listen to us, like those things do go a long way. So anyone that takes their time to do that, shout out to you.
Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who's been listening. We appreciate you so much. We've had a really great season so far with us on the pod, growing a lot. So it's been really nice. Freddie, we had All-Star Weekend. Really fun. I'd say really successful overall. And once again, we had our stud buds.
We sure did.
Live in action, 72-hour live stream, sponsorship and all. Freddie, I want to ask you, what were some of your stud bud highlights?
Well, first of all, I think the overall highlight to me was just the, like, we were just talking about this. Like, yes, it happened last year, but the access and the liberties that they were taking, they're like, it was just, and I think those two players in particular are very emboldened and funny and outgoing and just like in everyone's business. So to see, like, All-Star weekends, All-Star festivities are often like you see the kind of like PC stuff, and you don't usually see the players getting like hammered and shit after, and like partying, and or like going till like 5-6 a.m. in the morning. Like, this was really, really nuts to see, like, to see the party and to see them have like absolute disregard for like other people's privacy, which as a fan was really fun, but also like I'm really sort of like getting some of the players who are kind of like, damn, like my partner was like, man, if I was in that league and I saw the stud buds coming, I'd literally leave.
You'd run in the opposite direction?
I'd be like, no, we can't do that. So like some of the reveals, this is some.
Okay.
Marina Mabrey, Sanaya Rivers. Right? So there's that locker room thing.
No longer together.
No longer together. Like,
which I kind of thought was already
sure, like, fair enough. But like for Courtney Williams just to go ahead and like drop that. Then you have the DiJonai Carrington, Jackie Young rumors. But like more than that, you have like all the tweeting with NaLyssa Smith, and
well, NaLyssa Smith getting kicked out of the party was a lot. Like
that.
I think.
Can you give me more context there? Why was she kicked out of the party?
Because she wasn't invited. So basically, DiJonai is like besties with Courtney Williams and Atisha Heidemann, right? So she's there, and then NaLyssa Smith and DiJonai had like, I guess, a really bad breakup, and then she tried to roll into the party anyways, or maybe there was some miscommunication, but basically they were like, no, like, you're not invited, and she got kicked out of the party. So that in and of itself went viral, and then DiJonai tweeted,
like, is there a video of her getting kicked out?
Yeah, and then NaLyssa, and then DiJonai tweeted that NaLyssa Smith cheated on her multiple times. And I also thought DiJonai and Jackie Young being together was all but confirmed. I thought that was already, maybe it was rumored, but it seemed confirmed. But it's crazy how all of that drama is happening on like one team, because DiJonai also said that NaLyssa Smith cheated on her with Aaliyah Nye and another teammate and many others. Hold on, I'm gonna and Deja Kelly was the other one. So she accused her of cheating on Dejanay with Deja Kelly, Aliyah, and quote unquote many more.
Yeah, it was like plus.
And then Allyssa Smith went on like a stream and started like talking about it, but I didn't get the full lowdown there. I saw clips of it on Insta, so like maybe, you know, people who might be more informed can let us know. I don't think she fully denied it. It was more like, why is our personal life being put on blast? But like, I don't know.
So yeah, you have that, right? You have all this stuff, and then like you also have like the Jonquel moment was pretty serious.
The Jonquel moment was pretty serious.
Because like, you know, man, I remember covering that, right, with you, where it was sort of I think I'll speak for myself. I generally do this dance of like, reffing's hard and
Well, we should tell people in case they missed it what that moment
yes.
was.
Yes. So essentially in the 2024 finals, it was very, very tight. The Liberty were going head to head. This was like the arrival of this current iteration of the Lynx, obviously not with Olivia Miles, but like this, because for the longest time it was sort of like Aces Liberty. And then this was the arrival as like, hold on, the Lynx are there as well. And they're an amazing team. They made the finals. It was very, very tight. The Liberty won in game 5. And there was lots of complaints about the refs. Cheryl Reeve went up, off on the refs. So did Nafisa. So it was a really, really, really big deal. And I will say there was some like fairly questionable calls. So Jonquel Jones is overheard on the Studbuds live stream saying that the Lynx deserved the title more than the Liberty in 2024.
Yeah.
And then, in All-Star, like when she's doing a presser, she broke down. Like she was crying and she was apologizing for the comments, which honestly, I don't think I think it's a thing where she probably feels like she betrayed like her city and her team kind of thing. But like ultimately, I actually value that when an athlete can sort of be that honest. And it's not that the Liberty didn't deserve it, but I think acknowledging that there was some questionable stuff going down takes a big person. But regardless, I think that was that was obviously she was in public, but she didn't think that was going to go on the internet.
Or maybe she did, but she was just having a good time and wasn't thinking about it.
Right.
Right.
Like, but there's consequences regardless, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think with Jonquel, like she just said that her aunt passed away and like her family kind of gave her permission to be at All-Star. So I think that would add to the emotions of like the whole weekend, really. Yeah. But I think, a lot of this stuff, I do think it's like you're just having fun and maybe like you forget that a camera's there.
For sure.
Or whatever. I think that's really easy to happen. Like even with like Courtney Williams kind of saying like, oh, like Marina Mabrey and Sinai Rivers broke up. Like sometimes like I don't know if this is the case or not, but like sometimes you think everybody knows something and they don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not like fans, and like I think
so like maybe like she kind of thought it was already out there and it wasn't out there, or maybe she did think she was actually breaking news on her stream. I don't know. Like if she was intentionally trying to break news like that on her stream, I think that's really questionable. But sometimes it's like maybe she just thought it was already out there.
I just think it was messy. Like, and then you have these moments too where like Gabby Williams was like shutting down Courtney Williams is flirting, and she was like, I'm tired. I'm tired, sick and tired of your antics.
Damn.
So like, and then Sanaya went on a stream and she was like, hey, like don't air my business like that. So I think there's this element of kind of like it's all fun and like, but I mean when people are drinking and you're saying stuff, it's really anyways, like just as a fan, it was wild. Like I have no comparison to any other sport to seeing like that type of access, that type of like candor, and also like people's like there's also a different element with the W where, um, like, yeah, there's so many queer, such a large queer population, and they're dating. Like, there's a web of relationships, right? So to like
Mhm.
see them talk about it and not just like people speculate about it was really fascinating and entertaining. Like,
This is what I'll say. Like I mean, obviously as a fan, I love it. I appreciate it, but also I feel like let's enjoy it while it lasts. And I say that because as the league gets bigger, as they
yeah,
get
it's true
bigger, it can get more corporate. It could get
for sure.
more like tight nipped, if you
That's part of
will.
it too. Like this being
Like
able to happen is wild. Like,
yeah, like the fact that it's this organic and this raw and
mhm,
frankly for so long, is unique. And I feel
yeah,
like, there's a part of me that wants them to do this forever, like even like well after their retirement. There's a part
ah,
of me that I just want this live stream to be an annual part of All Star. But there's another part of me that's like, as it gets bigger, it could change, it could evolve. So I feel like as fans, it's like let's just enjoy it while we can. And maybe for Courtney and Natisha, they can just kind of take the note about airing people's business and try not to do that next year because they can have a really fun time and not do that.
mhm.
Um, and yeah, like I said, just accept the no because I think it's a solid no. I think, it would bother me, I think, if that happened to me, but, you know, they're celebrities, they're public figures, but also they're public figures in a way where it's like the attention is new and there's a lot to navigate there.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say about Budz is, and please, any listener, like, DM us about this, but, maybe I'm a square, but
Mm,
when I saw the photo of Heidemann with the IV drip, because like, she's partying that hard, I was like,
mm.
"Man, this is intense," like, for an athlete, as well. And I was saying that to my partner, and my partner was like, "That's so common." Like, like that's like, like, and we live in Toronto. She's like, it's just about the money. Like, if you want to do that, you could do that. And I'm like,
Mm,
that's like that's so wild. To just, it's like, I'm like, I have a Gatorade or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have a Gatorade into breakfast. Like, I think maybe I just don't roll with that crowd. I mean, I obviously don't. So
mhm.
please, people, let me know. Like, do you do an IV drip? Like, do you know what I mean?
No, I think that's for
Like,
wealthy people and for athletes, like
I guess so. Like, cause like just seeing that, I'm like, it was so
but
casual,
even but if
like,
I was partying, like, in my life and I was hanging out with some high rollers and there's, like, an after party and suddenly there was an IV drip, that's my cue to go home because 'cause I'm not trusting other randos with needles. Like,
yeah, I just assume it's like a
that's a
nurse
but
comes in
for
in the morning.
yeah, but for them, because they're athletes and because they're wealthy, they've got, like, professional, like,
Yes.
people on standby to do that for them, but I'm not going to some random's party and getting in an IV drip, like, that's literally,
Fine,
like
I'll stop
that's a
inviting you
that's
to my
that's
IV drip
AIDS
party.
waiting to happen, like, I'm not about that
Well, I guess I just got outed on the pod because
life.
I've been inviting Cathryn to my IV drip bash of the summer. The idea is we go swimming and we get like hammered and we just, pop on some IVs in the backyard. But I guess, yeah, you want to air my business in front of everyone. We don't have to do that. How about all
Um
the like actual basketball?
Oh, yeah, wait, one more thing I wanna say about stud
Sure,
buds is
sure.
that so last year, Dejanay did a makeover on Natisha Hiedeman, right? Like, they did that, like, glow up, glam, I don't know what we wanna call it, and she looked amazing, right? She looked, like, almost unrecognizable. It was, like, such a crazy, like,
Mhm.
180, but I thought, like, "Oh, it'd be so funny if they did that, like, annually, and she just, like, trolled people for a bit." Come on, that would be so good. Like, if they did that annually and then they, like, went to a club and she was, like, just I don't know. I don't know how she wants to troll people, but I just feel like, please, I want to see that again.
Yeah, I
Natisha
mean,
Hydra-Man.
huge.
Yeah. That's what we got to do. Anyways, basketball wise,
Natisha Hydra-Man. Is that you just right now?
no.
Oh, I'm like, damn. That's
That
good.
came out last year. I wish I could claim that. Um what do you have thoughts about the 3-point contest, about the game itself?
Because I'm such a basketball nerd, I do have thoughts about all of it, but mostly the game itself, I feel like in general, I'm a little bit like, yeah, good highlights were had. Love the Dom dunk. But I've been watching basketball all-star weekends for the better part of my life. For millennia. And they figured out Shooting Stars. That's the best version of Shooting Stars I've ever seen. And there's some key parts of that format that really worked. It being a point system and not just time worked. Having a high school player was so exciting. And then also having the coaches like whip passes at them on the spot was amazing. Like it really was a competitive event. It was fun. It was shooting, which was cool to see. I feel like that event is so hit or miss and it's often a dud, but that particular format was an absolute hit for me.
I agree. I loved it. And it was really nice to see Elena Deladon again. And then like it was funny too.
Lauren Jackson's like my back hurts.
I know that was so great. Lauren Jackson was like, get me out of here. But Elena Deladon was like, they were calling her like an old head, and then Holly Rowe was like, she only recently retired.
Yeah, really.
She's not that old.
Wait,
she's younger than us.
She was in the league last year.
Yeah, like she's not that old, and she probably, she had so many. Let's Google her age. But she
while
had
you're
so
Googling,
many.
I'm gonna guess. I feel like she's 36, 37.
She had so many injuries, so she didn't get to play quite as long as everybody else did. She's 36.
There you go.
Well done. Yeah, so it was just funny. Holly Rowe's like, she's not that old. Holly Rowe did individual interviews with a whole bunch of all-stars for Sirius XM. And I just happened to be in the car and like caught this, and they were really cool interviews. Like everybody just loves her so much.
She's a legend.
She genuinely cares so much about the league. And I feel like she probably gets like the most honest and true answers out of everybody. Like both Asia Wilson and Stewie were like, they're getting for a championship, but they don't feel 100% there. I don't think they say that to just anybody. Also, Courtney Williams went on and on and on about the electrolytes and like her routine, like just in detail. The recovery was so hilarious. Like anyway, Holly Rowe, that should be like a dream guest for us, is Holly Rowe.
Yeah. I'd bump Ryan Ruocco for Holly Rowe.
Ooh. I mean, they would both be great. I mean,
I know.
Yeah, I think Holly Rowe is like the W legend.
She's God tier.
Yeah, she's God. So Ryan Ruocco is a tier below God tier.
So is Ryan Ruocco. We bond over our sons' names. It'd be great.
That's true. Okay, I think we want to move on to some trade deadline stuff.
Yeah, I'll the last thing I'll say is just we sort of talked about like who could win the 3-point contest, and when I saw Bridget Carlton starting to cook, I was like,
you almost called it. You almost called
well, I said
it.
Ryan Howard. I said Ryan Howard, so it was actually
I thought you called Bridget in my mind.
Backup was Bridget.
Right.
But AZ, damn, that last round was so crazy, and
that was great. congrats to AZ.
Yeah.
Another funny thing about that was, like, you know how I said, like, Marina Mabrey could do it, but someone has to piss her off first?
Mhm.
And she was all smile, she's
Yeah.
laughing, she's having a good time. I knew it was over. I mean, she's hired this, like, energy coach, and she's really working on being, like, positive and zen, and I support this. I really do support this. I don't want people to think I don't support it, but in the meantime, I felt like, "Oh, if someone just gets under her skin just a wee bit, it would help," and I knew that wasn't gonna happen the second I tuned in. But yeah, congrats to AZ. It's funny, she was hanging out with the stud buds too, and, they were like, "You won money, what are you gonna do?" She was like, "I don't know, save it." And they're like and then Natisha Heidemann was like, "See, I knew I should have won. She's not even excited she won." Just because she's being responsible with her money, and good for you, AZ, as you should be.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the trade deadline. I want to
Mhm.
say we're recording this Wednesday night, July 29th. It is turning into a juicy trade
Yes.
deadline. Usually in the trade deadlines are not that serious, but this is becoming like potential blockbuster. Kelsey Plum is heavily reported to be on the
Mhm.
move. Allyssa Thomas is also being reported to potentially be on the move. I can tell you what I've read about first and then or vice versa, or do you want to
Sure.
jump right in,
Yeah,
Freddie?
go for it.
Okay, so essentially what I'm reading about Kelsey Plum is that she has notified the Sparks that she does not plan to re-sign with them next season.
Yes.
So because she has let them know that ahead of the trade deadline, they have the opportunity to do something about it now, as opposed to just losing her for nothing. So rumored potential destinations for Kelsey Plum are the Valkyries, the Mystics, and the Mercury.
Mhm.
Now, what makes that interesting about the Mercury is that the Mercury are kind of in a similar situation as the Sparks, is like they've just had like a season from hell, and they had much higher expectations. I mean, the Mercury were in the finals last season, and now they're nowhere like really near anywhere close to that. I'm not even sure if they're fully in the playoff picture right now. Um, so I feel like if they do get somebody like Kelsey Plum, then they might be able to kind of keep it together. But if they don't or feel like they can't, then I think they're going to blow things up and move Allyssa Thomas. Also, Dewana Bonner has hinted that this might be her last season playing
Mhm.
in general, that she could very well retire at the end of
Yeah.
this season. So it feels like this era for Phoenix, although very short lived, this post Diana Taurasi era, um, seems to be on the outs. I mean, I don't even know if getting Kelsey Plum saves them or like
No,
brings them
it
back up
doesn't.
to a championship level anyway. So I feel like that's one of the less likely destinations. Um but yeah, okay, Freddie, jump in.
Yeah, so I think everything starts and ends with the Sparks. Like, as far as
Yeah.
Blockbuster and, so it's August, we're recording this, July 29th, and, it will come out on the 30th. And, the deadline's, August 2nd, so by next podcast, we will have some trades or we won't have some
Mhm.
trades.
Mhm.
I think what's interesting in reference to, like, previous seasons is, like, generally because of the salary structure and there not being a lot of teams and there being a lot
Mhm.
of changeover and not super long contracts, the WNBA trade deadline is not big. Like, there's
Mm.
not a lot of movement. This could be different because 'cause you've added
Mm.
2 teams, and now you have more of, like, a have and have-nots. So, just did a quick standings hit, and there is a huge gap between Washington in 8th and the Fire and the Tempo in 9th and 10th.
Right.
Like, it is a long shot for the Tempo or the Fire to make the playoffs unless, you have just a massive collapse from, the 7 and 8 teams. Um, one of those teams are the Liberty, so that ain't happening, and the
Mhm.
Mystics look so good that they're not gonna have some sort of collapse.
Right.
But, yeah, so I think Plum is big. Also just heard Cameron Brink to the Tempo.
Hmm.
Yeah, which would be very interesting. The Tempo are actively shopping a first round pick to get
Wow.
Aaliyah Edwards or Cameron Brink. I think as a Tempo
I don't know if
fan,
I like that.
well, I think what I like is that the both expansion teams, the Fire and the Tempo, their pick is locked in. So they've no incentive to be bad, essentially, because they're gonna draft 6 in the lottery
Next year?
next year. Yeah, because it's 2 years in a row. So the Valkyrie finally get their pick now. Like,
Oh,
what
shoot. I didn't
however the
realize it was
standings
2 years
fall,
in a row.
it's 2 years in a row. So the Valkyrie, the past 2 years have picked in the same spot. Now
Hmm.
the Valkyrie are sort of, like, thrown into the pool of, like, how they do.
Mm.
That influences their pick, which oddly enough for the Valkyrie doesn't even matter because they're a really good team. But, for the Fire and the Tempo, being bad doesn't get you a good pick. So if you can get a contract like a Brink, I mean, which would be huge, I think, especially for the Tempo, not having like that many bigs.
Yeah,
Um,
they're desperate for a big.
or like, Leah Edwards is interesting, right? But I think the idea there is you would want to get like, a player that whose contract is manageable. So
Right.
I think that's interesting. Um, the Chicago Sky, Skylar Diggins Smith. Sorry, Skylar Diggins, my bad. Skylar Diggins, like, that is a huge potential move that would be a massive boost to a team.
Mhm.
And I think that relationship soured so quickly that you gotta wonder
So quickly.
what could happen there. Um, and then Kurt Miller hinted um, that he would potentially go for it pretty hard and rip the Band-Aid off to basically chase a title this year. Kurt Miller is VP for former coach in the league.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he's not the current coach, but he's a decision maker, so it's even
But I don't
more
think
relevant.
Dallas needs to blow things up. Like, they're really good. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it
Well, no,
depends on who they're
I don't mean
getting.
blow things up. I think are you saying they
They're a
should?
move away, but I don't
Are you
know.
saying sort of wait to go all in?
Maybe. I don't know if, like, Skylar Diggins makes them
I
a
don't know if it's
championship team.
Diggins. I don't know who it is, but
Right.
they're 18-9. Like they got a nice
They're
record.
really good.
Yeah, they're the fifth best team in the league.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, um yeah, it's crazy right now.
by the way,
It's kind of fun.
it's very fun. Just a fun little factoid for everyone.
Mhm.
The top 4 records in the league are all in the West.
Mhm.
So Lynx, Aces, Valkyrie, and Wings are all the top teams in the league, and they're all in the West. So just a fun little factoid. But yeah, so
It is still the best 1 through 8 teams in the league, but it
yes,
is very
yes,
interesting that all the competition or all the top teams are stacked in the
yeah,
West. Yeah.
yeah. And if you have to play those teams more like a one Seattle, you're having a rough go. You're getting beat up.
Mhm. 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 All right, Freddie. I think it's time for our badass player of the week.
Okay, badass player. Should I begin?
Yes.
Okay, so I really should write down who I'm selecting because I think one of my own personal goals was to not pick the same player
Oh,
twice.
and you might be picking the same person
I
twice. I
might
don't
be.
remember.
I don't remember either. Call me out,
Ooh.
listeners.
Ooh.
There's another person who I was really debating, but and I'll just say it's Stewie. But Cathryn is not picking. You'll see why I didn't want to pick Stewie because I like to spread the wealth a little bit, but it's Caitlin Clark. So deciding factor for me is I always look at
Spread the wealth a bit to Caitlin Clark.
yeah, spread the wealth to the richest person in the league. But four wins in a row, the Fever,
Yeah.
and leading the league in points in that period of time, 30 points. Only person who has 30 points. Shooting a blistering rating from 3, 50%. 50% on 8.5 attempts. That's nasty. And then also nearly 9 assists. And if you're one of those people like, what about the turnovers? Yeah, lots of turnovers too. But a steal and a half and a block. So just really, really aggressive offensive stuff from Caitlin. And 4 wins in a row. You can't complain.
Also, Aaliyah Boston went down the other night with a right knee injury.
Oh,
so
damn.
Fingers crossed it's nothing too serious. I haven't heard an update since. But yeah, I think assuming everyone's healthy, the Fever could come on really strong in this last stretch here, I think. Look, I'm sticking with All-Star and I'm going with Jonquel Jones. She won the MVP. She got 22 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists in an All-Star game. That is incredible. She's also the first player, I believe, the first player ever to have a regular season MVP, a finals MVP, and an All-Star MVP.
Ooh, okay.
I think. Hold on. Maybe I should confirm
We'll
that.
have to fact check that.
Okay, so Jonquel Jones is the first player to have a regular season MVP to 2021, a finals MVP in 2024, a Commissioner's Cup MVP, which happened in 2023, and an All-Star Game MVP in 2026. That is absolutely crazy.
Even more wild is it was 4 different years.
Yeah.
That's so
not even in the same year.
And cool.
Yeah.
And just to shout out the other players that got the triple MVP, it's Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, and Maya Moore.
There we go. I guess they didn't have a Commissioner's Cup though.
Yeah, they didn't have the option of the Commissioner's Cup, and they certainly would have won a Commissioner's Cup.
Yeah, no doubt.
MVP, but whatever, they didn't exist for them. So
yeah, they can, they can chat about that on a podcast.
Yeah.
But all right, Freddie, it's time for your fun question.
Here we go. So if you haven't been following the mascot drama, get yourself some popcorn and enjoy yourself.
Can you break down the mascot drama for us?
Yes, I definitely can break down the mascot drama because we all need to know. All right, so I'm going to be missing some parts here, but essentially, people were making jokes about Ellie, being close with the Chicago Sky mascot, who's the basically Sky the Lioness, and also close with Las Vegas Aces Bucket with a money sign. It was just a gold bucket, which are just money is a really great mascot. I enjoy that. But
I thought their mascot was a bunny. And
is
then
it a
the
bunny?
bunny's named Bucket. Let's look this up.
Okay. I feel like it's covered in gold. That's why I.
Hold on.
Okay, so here's the FFQ. We're in deep here with some mascot drama, which I love, and I will happily join once I'm the Toronto Temple mascot. But for now, I'll just come from the sidelines. But essentially, we have an entanglement, or people are insinuating an entanglement between Buckets, the Las Vegas Aces mascot, Sky, the Chicago Sky mascot, and also Ellie. Ellie got out from under this pretty quick and was like, Ellie, is single. I don't think so. And then Ellie tweeted a photo of Sky and Aces that were like they were like sort of like close to each other and like touching in a way that seeing mascots touch is really funny. Anyways, this is this is drama and this is good stuff. And my question to you, Cathryn, is
Mhm.
using this as inspiration, how do you platform this? Like, how do you take this and make it a bigger production? Like, what stage is it on? You know, like, like, how are you gonna sort of like make this the story that it needs to be?
Okay, this is what I would do. And this is partly inspired, not wholly, but partly inspired by RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay.
What you can do is you can get famous dialogue from a soap opera,
Okay.
right? Just like get the audio
Mhm.
and then get the mascots on the court and they, quote unquote lip sync, although they're not lip syncing, but they will in their own way act out what is
Mm.
being said. So they take on the character or persona of somebody from a soap opera and they act it out. And this could be like a halftime thing or whatever. And like, there's always usually like a silly slap that happens. Maybe somebody suddenly dies. Like it just is like so dramatic and like over the top. But I think that would be so funny.
I love it. That's
Like,
good
I'm
stuff.
not a big soap opera person, but I'm
Sure.
sure there's something from, like, Days of Our Lives or, like, one of those shows where they can, like, grab a clip and be like, "This is us. We're acting this out now."
Okay. That's good. That's good. That works.
Thank you.
I think
And tell me your crazy idea.
yeah, it's not that wild. It's let's do an Amazing Race version
What on
with
earth?
the WNBA mascots. So like I want drama, I want them on teams
I can't even
and
fathom doing an Amazing Race task in a mascot outfit. Like, that is
listen, they would have great ratings. Doing some of the eating challenges would be tough. I think the
they just, like, stop running and just start twerking instead, like, they're just over it?
yeah, exactly. Like I think the mascot uniforms would get really dirty.
Oh,
It would be
lord.
great. And then you have all the down moments where they're just like lost in an airport, arguing. That's good stuff. Trying to get inside of a taxi, like in a rush, like and being too big.
Internationally.
Internationally, right? Exactly. So they're going around in like, there might be places where people don't even know them, probably less possible for Ellie. But you know what I mean? Like I think I really want to see these mascots in the real world trying to do these amazing race tasks.
Wow. But how does that solve the drama?
Oh, it's not solving anything. It's just heightening
Oh, I see.
reality.
Okay, okay,
I'm platforming it. I'm going full reality TV. I'm exploiting
okay,
the drama.
okay. Alright,
Yeah. No, I
alright.
don't have good intentions.
And you picked The Amazing Race because they don't have to, like, talk? Like, how do we interact with our drama?
Yeah, they're just gonna have to physicalize it. Like they're clowns. They can tweet. You know what I mean? They can tweet. They can
Wow, it's a
message. They
lot of
can
tweeting. It's a lot of
yeah.
tweeting.
So they'll figure it out. Like they're mascots. They can convey a lot. You know?
Okay. Alright.
Yeah. Maybe subtitles. I don't
Subtitles.
know. It'd be great, right?
Subtitles. Like a silent film?
Yeah.
Like, they just cut like, not even subtitles, they just cut to a black screen with the text?
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my god.
Now you're thinking.
Alright.
Now you're thinking.
Alright. Let's wrap it up there. Thank you everyone for listening and tuning in. No tempo check this week, mainly because of All-Star, but we are back. We're both gonna be at the Minnesota Lynx game tomorrow. So we'll see you there. Let us know if you're there. And I'm sure we'll be back next week or sometime soon with tempo check. Kiki's back.
Kiki's back. Yeah, it
Limited
was
minutes.
great to see her back.
Yeah, Sykes is supposed to be back before the end of the season, but no confirmed date. But confirmed that she is not out for the season.
Yeah,
So,
on the Minnesota broadcast, they said she was out for the season, but we got a
and then
Tempo
the Tempo were
press
like,
release. Yeah,
no, no,
that's right.
good sir.
No, no, good sir.
Anyways, okay, good times. All right. Thank
Yeah.
you everyone so much for listening and tuning in. We appreciate you so much. Please remember to like, subscribe, tell your friends, leave a positive review, all that good stuff. And we'll catch you next time.
Yep, we will. Peace, everybody.
Bye.